Hit it while we're live.
Here we are.
Good morning. Somebody, we were at the conference last week, and somebody was like, "I was watching your videos, and you guys are always laughing and having fun." I was like, "It is a really good time." So, good morning. Happy to be here, Shannon.
Good morning. Good morning. Here we are, giddy once again that we were able to press a button.
It's all it takes is a button press, right?
It's Tuesday morning. It is earlier than most people are even thinking about pressing buttons.
Yeah, they're not pressing button. We're pressing like the coffee making button. So it's
Honest,
also it's a chilly
honest.
one. We were just talking. It's it seems that it flipped over the weather drastically here, so it's kind of gloomy and chilly in the Pittsburgh area.
It is gloomy and chilly, and I opened all of my blinds, but I also had to turn my light on, and that felt so sad. Here we are.
This is it. Well, maybe we can brighten that up a little bit. I've got another fun piece of tech to try out with you guys today. So I'm pretty excited about this. This is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and present my screen, which always takes a little while. So I'll find the window here. And today we are going to play with a web application called Geospy AI.
Uh-oh.
The world's best AI geolocation tool. I found this the other day and started playing with it. It's pretty wild, right? So it's web-based. It doesn't require an account or a login. So anybody can just go to geospy.ai, drag and drop or upload photos, and Geospy is going to use AI and then give you the geolocation of the photo. So similar to like a reverse image search on Google where it's doing that, but then we're going to be able to kind of plug in a lot of different coordinates and find out some locations. This is a pretty new tool, Shannon, so it does get it wrong. So what I did was I pulled maybe like 4 or 5 different photos, some of my personal photos, some edited photos, and some web search photos, just to kind of show today like what it does and like how it works. So what do you think?
I am so excited. First of all, anything called spy, I'm super
Well,
into.
name amazing, right? So I did a little digging too, just for some background. This is a product from I think it's three brothers. They own a company based out of Boston called Greylark. And yeah, they're doing some really cool stuff in this like intelligence AI space. So this is a byproduct of kind of their work, which is really cool. So if you want to check that out, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of start dragging some photos over here. The first one that I did, want to try out was a web search photo. It is look. I'm going to give you the location, and we'll see what it comes up with. So how's that sound?
Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Outside of the Pittsburgh area, there's a little town called Sewickley. There's a pretty famous or iconic bridge that you and I probably drive over all the time. So we're going to pull that photo in here. It's going to analyze it, maybe take a few seconds, and then spit out an output and let us know if it gets it close or right. So this is a bridge, the Sewickley Bridge in Pennsylvania, and it's analyzing the photo here. And another thing that I looked up too while this was going on was there's some metadata that a lot of photos have in them already. And I looked into some of the background of the tool, and it actually is not pulling any of that. So the whole goal of this tool is to really see how far AI can go with the image
Wow.
detection. And so here we go. Yeah, so we've got a Pittsburgh location here on the right, which is nice, and you can kind of zoom in and see which is close. And then the explanation shows an image of a bridge with a distinctive green color, similar to the color of the bridges found in Pittsburgh. So
Wow.
it did extract some metadata, but it's not location based. So it can tell you the camera make, the camera model. And then we've got some other cool tools down here. We can open this up in maps. We can copy the coordinates to share those. We can share Geospy as a tool or export it to a PDF. So pretty close, not exactly right, but it's pretty distinctive in terms of like finding some of the features and attributes here.
Wow, this is really interesting. And of course, the first thing I'm I'm thinking about is young people or folks who are constantly tagging themselves into photos when they are still at that place, and the whole concept that somebody nefarious could find out where you are and come to where you are, which is A little scary, yeah.
There's the spy element. That's kind of one of the first things that I thought too, right? You're out there on social media, you're seeing people posting pictures, and you're like, where is this, right? You can get somebody can just copy paste in here and try and find your location. So, some pretty insane ramifications there. Let's do another one. The next one I wanted to try was, obviously see if we can find like a pretty popular destination. So we can probably add in from here. Let's just go back to the main one and drag them in. Um, so here's another one, Flatiron Building, New York City, obviously pretty iconic. So I would assume that it would get it right. So we're going to drop it in here and see what the output comes in. Here we go. New York location. Image depicts iconic Flatiron Building. Gives
Wow.
you a description. Yeah. Now this one was actually this is an enhanced edited photo, so it's a combination of either real wood photography or after Photoshop and some edits there, which I thought was pretty slick because there's some colors and some changes done to this picture, but it still got it right. So 1 for 1, or 1 for 1 here in terms of accuracy.
That one was pretty quick. I like the juxtaposition of a bridge that very local people would know,
Yes,
that this tool was able to quickly identify as being something similar to the Pittsburgh region, and how quickly it was easily able to identify, an iconic building that's often photographed.
for sure. Then the next one I want to try with us here today is a, kind of a random photo. I actually went into a stock photography library, picked a random location. For these purposes, you and I know this would be Hot Springs, Arkansas. Now, this is a professional photo that I pulled from, the internet, and then I downloaded it to my local device and then uploaded it here to Geospy AI. And then we just plugged it in there. So it looks like it's doing some thinking here. And yep, there we go. I mean, this one's dead on here. Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas. Photo shows, the forested hills in the background, historic buildings, particularly the tall one on the left. I like this this characteristic here of the city, particularly the tall one on the left. Also camera make model. That's pretty cool.
Wow, wow.
Yeah,
I will tell you, being able to find the location is cool, but, I love seeing the camera make and model. That to me is interesting. I recognize it's extracting it, but um, how fun is it to be able to see, oh, that's a quality that I like. As you and I know from our children, cameras are becoming less and less
yeah,
common, understood. Everybody's carrying around iPhones that take incredible pictures. So holding an actual physical camera in your hand is something that I think many young people today couldn't even think about.
for sure. And then we also have some sources down here, which is pretty cool, right? So based on the characteristics, they found these following related buildings, which looks to be the same building of, the tall one up at the top. Um, so then you can kind of click on these too. You can see as I hover over, it's got the source links and the citations. So I think some good use cases here, obviously if you're doing anything, with photojournalism, or, you need to go ahead and find or do some research on some areas, that would be a pretty good tool here.
That's awesome. I love this. I can see obviously very quickly how this could be an insane tool for marketers, a really good tool for marketers. But, have you ever seen a picture of people outside and you're like, that looks like a really cute park? I've got some wanderlust. I want to go there. Maybe
Yeah.
I can find out where they're at.
All right, so this last one that I uploaded here, this is from my phone. This is from my camera, so I can see my Apple Pro Max explanation air prediction. Came up with the goose egg here, right? Unknown, unknown. I'm gonna switch over and see if I can actually. I'll show you what the picture is itself. Let's see here. Do, 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 do. This one was from the Hasita Lighthouse in Florence, Oregon. I was traveling a couple months ago, and it's a beautiful picture. I took this with my iPhone, of the lighthouse right here. You can see, but I think in this particular case, there's a lot of this is a hiking trail. There's some trees. There's some nature here. Super tough for the AI probably to detect this image or this location. So it's the other thing to note too is that Shan, this is, I think that's like maybe 10 months old, less than a year old or so.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
the tech is pretty new, but I think it's progressing pretty far from what I've seen on some forums out there and some discussions centered around it, which is pretty cool. There's one extra bonus surprise here. While I got you, this is going to be fun. I think I did play with this. I think you'll be super excited about it. So
I
I'm
love
gonna
a
head back.
bonus. I love a good bonus.
Yeah, the bonuses are great. I'm gonna head back to Geospy, and I'll pull this up. So let's find it here. All right. So if we go back into the home screen, up in the top right hand corner here, there's Battle Geospy.
Uh-oh.
I found this to be really cool. So we can play a game against AI. So what it's going to do, it's going to show us a street view location. We get to guess the location by tapping on the map. And
Yes.
then we confirm it, and then AI makes a guess, and you play 5 rounds. And the closest person to the location wins. If I say person, the closest user in this case, right? It's either you or AI wins that round, and then it tallies up your score. And I got a chance to play this yesterday, which was pretty neat. So I thought we'd play it today on the show.
Oh, I'm excited about this.
All right, let's play. And I'm going to need your help here, obviously. So, what's really cool about this is that we've got the ability to kind of zoom around and look. And this is a tough one, right? So it's like an apartment complex. You've got to kind of maybe spy, some of the trees or maybe some background information. We're not going to glean any information because Google blocks out license plates. I already tried.
Well, but it's clearly somewhere that's often hot because all the cars know to park under the trees and the cars look a little sun battered. Um,
True. I see some
and
SUVs, so there could be a mix of weather there, maybe. I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm
I
just gonna
see the trees. This is looking a little autumnal. So I'm going to go with Virginia because
Okay, that's a great guess. So then even cool over here, I can zoom in and out with my mouse wheel or the tools here. So we'll pick a place in Virginia. Let's just kind of click on somewhere outside of Richmond and then come down here and then it's giving me a timer too. So we only have
Ooh,
so many seconds. So now it's
uh-oh.
Geospy's turn. It's gonna do some thinking. And Geospy wins this round. That's outside Salt Lake City.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I like here is that the image shows residential area with houses and trees. The architecture and vegetation are consistent with Salt Lake City, Utah. All right. So that's round one. Let's check out the next one. Oh, here we go. We've got some palm trees. This could be a number of places out west. Let's see if we can zoom in here. We've got some tanks, a couple little residential area.
Super flat. This is so flat.
Super flat. What's this? I mean, dead, dead end.
Dead end, dead.
Dead
Trespassers dead.
and dead here.
Wow.
I mean, this sign is aggressive.
Wow.
I had a neighbor one time. She was like really really particular about her lawn, and there was a sign that she put up on the corner of the street that said "Keep off the yard grass." And it was an older lady, and she was very very particular about this.
She was like in Dennis the Menace. She's like inspired by that. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Well, everything does look pretty dead. It looks dry,
Here we go.
desolate.
We know we're in the United States. I see some rooftop air conditioning units there. Hot location, obviously, just by that. So let's just say, I was going to say maybe, somewhere in the Utah, Arizona
Yeah, I was going with
region,
Vegas.
maybe
I was
maybe
going with
Vegas.
Vegas.
Let's pick a location. So we're just going to try and get close, somewhere between Vegas and Phoenix. So let's
I
try
love it.
right here and confirm.
Ooh, I see a little beware of dog down there in the right corner.
We won the round. All right.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to zoom back out here.
Oh, Jason, no matter what happens for the rest of the day, before 8 AM, we beat AI.
Great. We are smarter than AI today
Oh,
in this particular instance.
congratulations, Jason. We did it.
That's super cool. So yeah, AI was pretty far off there. So let's burn through some more here just really quickly. Got some mountainous regions here. Look at pretty hilly.
Well,
Not
this
a
is
lot, not a lot to go off of here.
no, but it's giving Appalachia. This is Appalachia, I think.
Yeah, where would you drop the pin if you had to pick like a state or a city? We can
It feels a little Kentucky. I'm gonna go with Kentucky.
okay. Let's see. Oops, I think there we go.
Doesn't want you to zoom in. It's like, hey, you beat me one time.
Yeah, it's blocking off my zoom. It's a little buggy here. Let's go with Kentucky. Maybe keep it a little northern Kentucky and confirm that.
This one's tough. It didn't give us a lot to go off of.
Okay, Geospy wins the round outside Seattle. I was just up there. That's yeah, that is a tough one. That could be there. This is that type of, geography looks like it could be pretty much anywhere.
Well, it wasn't giving us a lot to go off of.
Yeah, same with this one here.
Uh-oh.
This is pretty
Uh-oh.
desolate. We could maybe, reverse engineer some of the signage. There's some
You know,
big
if I were driving on this road alone and ran out of gas, like in Children of the Corn, I would just lock my doors, I think.
Yeah. These little pylons here are pretty unique too. I feel like this is giving me some like Maine vibes or like some coastal area. This could actually be in a different country.
I I don't think this is from the
Yeah.
US.
This is actually giving me like a Jamaica, Bermuda. Yeah, look at this here.
Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, let's use these clues. Oh, we're running out of time. Okay.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is definitely not Costa Rica because the roads are so flat.
Right. I want to say we're down in the Caribbean, in between Mexico, South America somewhere. I'm just gonna pick. I've been in Nicaragua before. This looks pretty similar. I'm gonna try Nicaragua.
I think you have to do that.
Yeah,
I remember when you went to Nicaragua on that really cool trip. That was
it was
so
amazing.
cool.
That was actually because of you. You sent me the link. You sent me the link to it, and you're like, "This is all you." And I was like, "This is absolutely me." So wow, we're really off here. This is out in Vietnam, Thailand.
Well, I
Okay,
mean,
man, learned
it
something new.
it wasn't giving us any clues that we could understand. So, okay, AI, we beat you one time so
Did we did
far.
we did once. All right. This is also a pretty rough one here. Not familiar with those signs. Uh, Hilly landscape there. I see some mountains in the background.
Germany?
Yeah, let's try there. That could be. Looks like it. Round 4 of 5. Let's see. Let's see what Geospy picks. Pretty close. Outside of Spain, Catalina.
Ooh, let's go there. Maybe we should just use Geospy to pick the next place to visit.
I think that's a great idea. We could just keep playing it. So game over. Geospy wins. We got one, right? I think that's great.
I
So
do too.
yeah, that's super cool. So yes, so I thought that'd be pretty fun. That this could be a great way to definitely pick new vacation spots, right?
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
and kind of get a chance to explore around and see. So yeah, I thought Geospy AI was pretty cool and was happy to share that today.
That's awesome. I'm so excited you showed us this today because I was really excited. Last night, we were on an AI panel. That
Yes.
was awesome. We were surprised by what the other 3 speakers had to say because everybody came and gave their own presentation. And during Tracy's presentation, I was sort of texting you under the table because she kept showing things that I hadn't heard of or seen before. And it's remarkable, I think, to know we could do this show 10 times a day, every single day, and never see the same exact application.
Exactly. Yeah, Tracy's presentation was amazing, and she's doing some really cool things with AI in the metaverse, which I'm definitely looking forward to exploring more. All the speakers obviously were great, yourself included. Yeah, it is. It's a topic. I think I even mentioned that when I was up there. This is rapidly changing daily, weekly, right? Like every month, there's these leaps and bounds that are happening. So
Yes.
it's good for us because we get plenty of things to play with and test out. Hard for a lot of people, I think, to keep up. So we got to
It's
kind
really
of
hard to keep up, and, I think one of the things I do think about the most is getting something that works really well for you into your everyday practice. So, thinking about things like particularly Scribe, which is a great one that you could put into your everyday workflow that could have a huge impact on the way that you do work. And there's so many things to play with it. It's hard to say, this is the one I'm going to sit down and, settle on. And so that I think is one of the things that I would encourage everybody, to think a little bit more about, just like you start exercising on January 1st,
yeah.
work whatever the tool is into your practice for a significant amount of time so you can see if it actually helps you.
I agree. I think like tools like Scribe, gave me the idea yesterday, right? I was thinking about that. I'm like, there's a lot of organizations out there that have spent a ton of time. And then also one of the other speakers talked about, all the SOPs they were doing for the IT department, right? And how it took hours and hours for them to kind of sit there.
Right.
So, these SOPs are amazing resources for organizations internally to start training these models and then using that information, right? Not only internally, but externally. You're going to feed this data, right, into these models, and you're going to be able to get a lot more richer outputs, or at least more use case specific outputs for whatever your industry is, by information that you probably already have, right? So I think that's a great tool or a resource or tip rather, for any business owners or anybody out there working in a larger organization that's maybe trying to struggle or figure out how they might be able to start integrating AI into some of their process and procedures.
It's so true, and I think anything that's repeatable becomes potential for AI, and I know last week we talked about Sales Sage, although the internet in the hotel was not as strong as I wish it had been, which I did think was a cool, "Hey, look, here's where we are. We're still in the age of hotel internet being pretty splotchy," and
Limitations.
yeah, exactly. So, Sales Sage, we started feeding it the way that we do things, our methods of work, and it was able to use that to say, here's how you can work with this prospect to understand if your solution is best for them. So, you're exactly right. Anytime you develop an SOP, you can use that to inform, you know, your AI or your agent. Here's how we can synthesize this into a message that people need to hear.
For sure. And you know what? That brings up a great point because, last week was Life Sciences Dreaming. It was an amazing conference, super successful. I was really excited to be there. The panels were amazing. The speakers and the sessions were amazing. During one of the main, it was the reverse keynote, I believe. They were discussing, when they're doing some of the use cases in the life sciences industry, there's a significant portion of people on this world that do not have internet access, right?
Right.
That kind of perked my ears up and I got a little bit curious. Do you know what that stat is?
Oh, I'm interested to know. No, I don't know.
2.6 billion people worldwide do not have internet access,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
That's a staggering number to me. And I know there's some companies and people in the space that are trying to work to resolve that. But that puts a different perspective and lens on things when we think about even just taking things for granted or getting into a situation like last week where you're in the hotel Wi-Fi and you're like, gah, right? Super frustrating. But imagine, we have this all at our fingertips, and there's a lot of people out there that they don't even have access. So that's pretty important. I think that's pretty poignant.
I'm glad that you brought that up, Jason, truly, because while technology has the capacity and ability to democratize our work, it is critical for us to remember that there are so many people that just don't have access to the things that we have. And so I think that is a good way for us to close out today, remembering to be authentic and consider your lens and your lived experience and how it's not the same as everybody else's. I think that's a superb point. Jason, way to send us out.
All right, Shannon, sounds great. I will see you next week on Try New Tech. Also, if you're watching, go to YouTube, like and subscribe. We're doing this weekly. It's amazing.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Smalls.